And let's face it, 2021 hasn't exactly been the best so far. From its oppressive grey skies to seemingly never-ending lockdowns, this is a time where joy's been hard to come by. Thank Coop of a Nintendo then. Much like last year's perfectly timed Animal Crossing New Horizons, Nintendo has once again attempted to deliver a colourful care package when we all need it most. I am, of course, talking about Super Mario 3D World on Switch. Originally released on the ill-fated Wii U in the before times of 2013, Super Mario 3D World showed Nintendo's mustachioed mascot in something of a transitionary period. Yet, despite the piddling performance of the Fisher-Price-looking Wii U, Super Mario 3D World was a stupendously brilliant platformer, and is still a triumph almost a decade on. From its grin-inducing toy-like aesthetic to its continuously inventive level design, 3D World is not only Nintendo's greatest multiplayer platformer, but one of the genre greats. Still, 3D World on Switch isn't just an exercise in nostalgia. The double-stalked cherry power-up on top is that it also comes packaged with the all-new expansion Bowser's Fury. This 6-hour romp is weird, wonderful, and wildly inventive, taking 3D World's unhealthy obsession with cats to whole new levels. Before we dive into Bowser's Fury though, let's take a look at what has changed in 3D World itself. In a time where local multiplayer is all but redundant, Nintendo has wisely brought this once offline classic online, allowing up to 4 mates across the globe to fight over virtual cat onesies. Alongside the welcome networking upgrade, movement speed has also been massively dialed up for this remaster, transforming Mario's run from what felt like a jog into a Usain Bolt-worthy sprint. This newfound sense of speed feels like a perfect fit for 3D World, giving an already wonderful game a pleasingly punchy pace. Aside from that, the original's already gorgeous visuals get a slight resolution bump, taking them up from the Wii U's 720p to a crisp 1080p. Otherwise, playing 3D World on the Switch is pretty much the same experience many will remember from 2013. In other words, while a slight deviation from the usual Mario formula, there's plenty here that will feel familiar, until you experience Bowser's Fury's killer feature, its gargantuan, Godzilla-esque showdowns. Tasked with cleansing the island of a mysterious goo that somehow made Bowser even more of a bully, at random intervals the sun-filled paradise will suddenly turn to darkness. It's here that a towering torso Giga Bowser emerges from the ocean, terrorising poor pint-sized Mario. It's a cool and unpredictable mechanic that is used to great effect throughout. If having the pocket-sized plumber face off against a kaiju Bowser sounds a tad unfair, then don't worry, because Mario gets his chance to fight back too. Once you've collected the required number of shines, stars in normal money, players gain access to a Giga Cat Bell, turning Mario into what can only really be described as a feline take on Dragon Ball's Saiyan Great Apes. Suddenly, the cleverly designed mazes of walls and towers you've been jumping across become tiny little shields, allowing players to avoid taking the brunt of Bowser's many projectiles. It's all utterly ridiculous, but a ton of fun. While purists might grumble that this is far from your typical Mario experience, Bowser's Fury is undoubtedly all the better for the experimentation. It's a DLC that remains compelling and refreshingly inventive throughout, with the only real downside being the lack of true co-op. While a second player can float around, dealing damage to enemies as Bowser Jr., they merely meekly follow behind Mario, unable to participate in any of the actual platforming. It's an odd omission given 3D World's multiplayer mission statement, but when you're essentially getting a fun 6-hour expansion for free, it's hard to complain. Mario's greatest multiplayer outing is back, and the timing couldn't be better. 8 years on, 3D World is still an utter joy, combining the kind of inventive level design that Mario 64 and Galaxy fans love with the cutesy accessible charm of the new Super Mario Bros. U games. Combine that with a bonus 6-hour expansion that takes the crown of being the weirdest Mario outing to date, and there is undoubtedly enough here to put a smile on your face.